Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, this right here is Okinawa spinach, baby leaf Tuscan kale, some flat leaf parsley that I'm going to transplant, and this is a pepper that is from a little village my family's from, most of my family, Anjar in Lebanon. Some are from Beirut, some are from Burchamud, stuff like that. We're Armenian, but you know, family came from Lebanon. But this is a pepper from that. They make the best pepper paste. So they gave me some seeds, and I planted a whole bunch. I thinned out the weakest ones, and this is the strongest one so far. I'm gonna thin out to 2 or 3 in each pot. This is a bonsai timber spicata I'm trying to do in a little pot, terracotta pot. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. This is wasabi. Doing pretty well. I had a little bit of aphids when I put it back in the shade instead of the sun. It used to be in the sun here, always in the sun, did fine. Put it in the shade and it started getting a little bit of aphids. This is a Thompson grape. Ultra dwarf. One moment. Red Baron, beautiful, beautiful. Let me show you the picture. The tree looks like this. It's only 6 feet tall. That right there is just some mustard greens and some mustard greens. For all of you who haven't known, my subscribers know that I had issues with rats because of my quails. So I let the quails loose in my garden. They're still amongst the purple tree collards. They hide a little bit and they come back and eat and drink, but I did remove the quail cage. Can't have rats in my house, guys and gals. Longevity spinach, but yes, the Coturnix quails are amongst the garden. They walk around, they lay eggs here and there, and they're just playing around and hiding the purple tree collards. So longevity spinach, roses. There is a katuk in here, but I don't know if it made it. I think it's done, and there's a mushroom plant as well, like an actual plant that's called mushroom plant. But I don't really care about those as much. The longevity spinach is what I care the most. These are a fake snake, of course, but this is a Aleppo plants I replanted from last year. There's 1, 2, well, you can't really see it, but that's what they look like. So this is a last year. They're over 1 year old. When frost is about to come, I uproot them, put them in pots, and then I replant them in spring. This is Tuscan kale. More Tuscan kales. Tomatoes. This is a pink lady apple right here. Some things grafted. I don't know. I think this is a Fuji right here. I'm not too sure. But Dave Wilson. A lot of my trees are Dave Wilson, as you can see from these tags. Purple passion asparagus, my first time planting it. I did a video of this a while back, not too long ago, but of how I plant asparagus. It's already producing nice big stalks. It's only been in the ground, I don't know how long, but it's a month or less, but nice big stalks. This is already about a foot tall. 9 crowns in here. This is a heavenly white nectarine. When you cut into this nectarine, it's sweet as honey, a little bit of acid in there. There's a little bit of acid, but it's bleach white. It's Dave Wilson. It's a Zager patented variety. This is the best tasting apricot. This is called, it's an Aprium, but it is the best tasting apricot. This is called a Flavor Delight Aprium. Boy oh boy, did this get hit hard from the freeze. But it's still produced. You see this? Each limb has about maybe 6 of those apriums on it. You see some more up there. See them? So each of these limbs produced. The reason why I have these trees here is because the afternoon sun in the summer comes down. I'm in Central California, but pretty much all of California gets hot. Los Angeles last year in October, it was 109 degrees, October. San Diego, 100. San Francisco, 85. So forth. So if you're anywhere in California, it's going to be hot. It used to not be that way. Now it is. Central California, 95 plus degrees throughout July and August. 95 plus degrees every day. So when the sun comes here, right around here, it goes into this window, and you can see there's I put a reflective thing, heat reflective. It helps a lot. But man, when that sun just from this little top window comes into the house, you're an AC in the house, and you're sweating from the sun going through the window, from that top window now. I just don't know how to, I don't want to pay professionally to be done. They're expensive to do tint, and I didn't want to do it myself and screw it up because that's a hard cut, it's an arch. I didn't want to deal with it. So I planted these trees long ago to prune. Notice that they're not the best pruned, they're really high pruned. So I don't really care so much about the fruit. The fruit's just a bonus. I'm just going to really grow them tall, big canopy, and block all the sun coming in to the house. This is a new, I always wanted to do a video of this. I don't know if I did before, actually. I don't think I did. But this is a honeyberry. This is the first year plantings. I planted it about a month ago. This is bluebird and bluebell. Already flowering. I don't know if it'll fruit, but they're really, they really grow really fast, especially the bluebell. A beautiful plant. Doesn't need any correct soil conditions. There's never been mulch in this area. You see there's still not, of wood chips, excuse me. So this is just new wood chips put here. So the soil doesn't have to be the best for these guys. If I put blueberries here and then just put some wood chips on top of it, they would have been suffering like happened to me years ago with the blueberries in my original garden design before wood chip mulching. So these wood chips, hence these wood chips haven't degraded yet to, oh, I'm pointing at this as something else. Hence these wood chips haven't degraded yet to enhance the soil. This is a sweet purple asparagus, and they say it's a cousin of the purple passion. The purple passion tastes extremely sweet, and my green asparagus is already sweet, so I can only imagine. I've never tasted purple passion before, but they say the sweet purple asparagus, yes, sweet purple asparagus is just as sweet as purple passion and is thicker than my thumb, the spears, and they're tender, not stringy. Both varieties, but this is thicker than my thumb, or thicker than a thumb, it said, than the average thumb, and tender, no string, no snapping, all the way down to the crown is edible on this variety and the purple passion. This is Parfionka. Not much to it now because the hard freeze burnt it back a bit. It's growing back. You can see the pomegranates growing back. I'm not really focusing, but you can see the red leaves coming out. This is Parfionka. This is regarded as the best tasting pomegranate variety in the world. It is like barely any seed in there. There is seed, but it's so edible it like melts in your mouth. I've eaten it before. It is the perfect balance between sweet and acid. Parfionka. Not much to it now because I pruned it back heavily. Hence, I'm trying to prune it into a tree. Just when you, this is how my other one started. My the well-known YouTube video, the pomegranate bush into a tree. One of my first videos I ever filmed. This is how it started. Growth wants to come from the bottom. I keep knocking it off, and I push the energy into the top, and I open the top. I cut out the center, growth going to the center, and I cut out crossing branches or whatever, and I make that tree. That's how I did the other one. But that was a lot of years in the making. This is not that many years in the ground. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go to the front yard even now. That's gonna be the first time a front yard tour. These are oregano varieties. This is Italian, which is a mix between Greek oregano and marjoram, I believe. But regardless, it's a hybrid. This is Greek, somewhere in there, and that's hot and spicy. And you can see how they're starting to move everywhere. This is lemon thyme, right here, a darker color, bluish. And this is, I believe, English thyme, all this. I can't remember now if it's German or English, but I think it was English. All that is thyme. That's from two little plants. And there's French tarragon in here. I sometimes let my oregano grow out in the cracks right over here. And if any of you are wondering why I say oregano, I spent a lot of time in England when I was in the military, but also if you spell out or read oregano If you tell me the word oregano and I don't know how it looked in the beginning, I'm gonna spell it O-R-A-Y, O-ray, X-ray, X-ray, oregano. There is no A-Y, so it's oregano. Where the oregano come from? And people from Europe that are listening to me right now are gonna say, "Thank God someone said that. An American said that." Okay, this is yarrow, yellow, and the burgundy or pink, camellia, hyssop, acid, alkaline, right next to each other, doing fine. Camellia, sage, grosso lavender, alkaline, acid, doing just fine. More oregano. Look how much it's spread. You see from seeds over here. This is Timbra spicata. Lemongrass. This is I believe, a chamomile that keeps on reseeding itself. It started over there and it keeps going. Oh, I almost forgot. The manzanita. I love manzanita. I love manzanita. Look at that, beautiful. This is, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's sage. It's bergamot sage or some kind of word like that. They say it's the best culinary sage to use. And this lovely plant right here is called Dittany of Crete. They say it's from the island of Crete. You can make tea with it. It's not a form of zaatar. It looks like zaatar or a zaatar type of plant. They say that young men would go out in the wild and search for this plant in the cliffs and hard places to get it. Some may not come back or have a broken arm or died on the trail to try to find these things to bring it back to for engagement to the ones they love, because of how hard it proves that how much of a man they are, that they went out to very dangerous locations to find this herb to bring back. So that's what the story is, or somewhat of the story. This is white savory. It's a form of zaatar. This is found, I think, in Galilee. This is, I don't know, Spice Island rosemary, and the other one is blue rosemary. I forgot what it was called, but regardless, rosemary. This is Italian oregano, marjoram. This is Anuk lavender. This is only fertilized with seaweed and fish emulsion. Look how many heads of flowers there is, or there are. This is newly planted cherry. What happened was this 70-foot or 60-foot tall redwood broke the water main. We had to fix the water main and take the redwood out. So that used to give us beautiful afternoon shade. So now I'm putting a cherry and a Italian prune, grow it straight up as fast as I can, and to provide shade for the driveway for our cars. This is French thyme. This is my little collection of rocks from my son. We go to the river a lot or hiking, and he collects rocks and brings it here to this little pile, one at a time. This is supposedly the best tasting thyme in the world, French thyme. This is echinacea coming back. I thought it died, it didn't. This is a plant my son wanted because it was pretty and had flowers, and he wants it from his mom. This is pineapple guava, beautifully pruned, open center, nice and gorgeous. So I bought this, it's a Dave Wilson variety of fig, right here. I think the pronunciation Villers de Bordeaux. So very delicious. I've had the fig, it's very delicious, but I never grew it before, so here it is right here. It's not even a month in the ground. I'll show you something interesting right here. Once again, this grass is fertilized by seaweed and fish emulsion. Do you see that it's really lime green right here? Lime green. And then it's really dark green here. Do you want to know why that is? I get asked that by neighbors that walk by it, and they see me gardening because they know how my backyard garden is. They always ask me questions about gardening here. The wood chips here, when it rains, it floods this way, or when I water, it floods this way and floods to the street. It's carrying that energy of the wood chips, that beautiful soil. It's carrying those nutrients down into the street this way. And that's why this grass is so much darker than over there. These are strawberries. There was a big lantana, beautiful lantana plant here. I took it out. I put everbearing and Juneberry strawberries. This is a fruitless olive that I like to prune open, like really open like this. This is thyme, border wall, so when the strawberries grow out this way, the thyme hopefully stops it. This is real red grapefruit, Oregonum syricum. Look at this beautiful. This is my #1 specimen of Oregonum syricum, Syrian oregano. And you see how beautiful and big and perfect. I don't even prune this, and look how beautiful it is. When I was growing them my first time ever, long time ago, years and years, I pulled them out of the ground to transplant, and it was a small plant. It was like this big, but yet the roots were as big as my fist. Like I couldn't even grab all the roots off this tiny plant. And I said something special about this. So all plants that you see, most of them, excuse me, those big huge plants like the one underneath my donut peach was a cutting from this, a clone. So this plant here is, and it smells the strongest and it tastes the strongest. If you bite a leaf off this plant, off this Zaatar plant, if you bite a leaf, your whole mouth will go numb. Not like numb like Novocaine, but numb where you're like, okay, I'm not going to do that again because that was really numbing. I love this plant. This is a Turkish oregano, Cretan oregano, the second best smelling Zaatar plant. This is a Zaatar plant right here. I love that smell. And that's more Timorous piccata, spike time. This is a Morel blood orange right here. And see, no weeds, right? Not much, right? Not much. Not bad. I can't do it that thick because if I do, the wood chips go into the street. But look where I don't have wood chips. Look what happens. You see the weeds? No weeds. Slowly more weeds and more weeds and more weeds. Alright everyone, it's getting quite late. You can see the sunset right over there. And that is my 2018 early spring garden tour. And if any of you are still with me right now, thank you very much. Let's just make a great year. Another year of gardeners. There's more and more of us. More and more gardeners. Used to be, if you were a gardener, you're kind of an outcast. Oh, he gardens. He settled. You settled. You're a gardener now. You know, you're becoming an old man, an old woman. And now the young ones are coming in and saying our grandparents and great-grandparents, something was right. They were right. They did something right. Because we can't afford to rely on others to feed us. Feed yourself and grow your own things. And feed your family and your friends. And teach one another. This is my 535 video on YouTube in a year and a half. Almost one video a day. And I'm telling you everything I've learned in the 30 years I have been gardening. 20 of which are what I remember. I've been gardening since I was 3 years old with my grandmother. And the one thing I could tell you, simply, gardening is life. Happy gardening, everyone. Bye.